How is it going, light beings? Finally back in the arena, so to say, here at my standing desk, and I have a really great, powerful, inspirational conversation for you guys today. So I really wanted to talk about being an empath because a lot of the people I talk to, a lot of the clients that I come across, they struggle with being this very strong, intelligent empath. They have this gift, but because they have this gift and they don't know how to refine it or use discernment with it, they come across, struggles of be feeling incapable of being in large rooms with other people, or they find that they're carrying other people's baggage with them after they leave a conversation. And so, being a part of the new earth, most of us, if not all of us, really, I think all of us have this ability to be empathic, but it's really important for us to hold the space as light workers at Star Seeds with this empathic ability, and I want to share that with you right now. So, for those who don't know what an empath is the basic understanding is that it is a person who can feel what the other person is feeling, and not just like comprehend it and understand it. They actually feel the emotions that the other person is feeling. But what's actually going on is you as a soul, as a star seed, as a light worker, are hyper attuned to the frequencies around you. Frequencies carry information, just like, for example, sound waves, radio waves, Wi-Fi waves, Bluetooth waves, right? So frequencies, you're hyper attuned and sensitive and are able to discern the frequencies that are going on around you. Okay, that's what's going on. Now, how do you know that you are one, just in case you're not sure? Well, ultimately, if you find that you feel denser after, or feel more heavy, or feel emotionally imbalanced after having really deep, maybe sometimes hurtful conversations with people. Maybe you're a little bit of a people pleaser. You're afraid of conflict. Maybe when people say things to you, you understand the underlying intent of what they're saying, even though you can't explain it. And sometimes it makes you feel crazy because it feels like you're the only one that can see it, and other people don't understand. Sometimes in a crowded room, you feel a little bit chaotic or stirred up, or you feel like you need to go outside. And maybe sometimes as an empath, you're afraid of hurting other people's feelings. You're like really afraid of hurting other people's feelings. So those are some of the indicators that you are indeed an empath. Now, the struggle with empaths is that more often when the gift becomes a curse, right, is when the soul is omitting energy rather than emitting energy. And really, this goes for anybody who is highly attuned, psychically aware. If you're having a conversation with somebody and things are intense and you're feeling their energy, it's because you are omitting, you are receiving their energy instead of emitting it, instead of holding the frequency, instead of holding the space of light. And I'll talk about why that is important in just a second. So it is our job, it is our responsibility as empaths not only to hold this frame of mind, hold the standard, hold the boundary, hold the space, hold the higher frequency, but it's also our responsibility, as an empath, to use that gift not only to help others better understand themselves and what they're going through, because maybe you can give language to what they're going through or give context to what they're going through, but this ability to be an empath allows you to hold a space of compassion for the other person, right? So it's like you can't fight fire with fire. Right? So if you come across a random stranger that's super pissed off and angry, and then they trigger you because you can sense them being pissed off and angry, and then that pisses off the anger within you, well, then you're only adding fire to that. But if you are an empath and you can understand the deeper psychological and emotional underlying unconscious subtext to that, then you can be that water that the fire is throwing at. And that water turns that fire into air, right? And then you could eventually calm the fire, calm the storm, and then be that beacon of light or that beacon of hope for somebody. So I understand, there's two sides to every coin. It's always a double-edged sword, but what are you going to focus on? Are you going to focus on being an empath as a burden or a curse, or are you going to actually use it for what it is, which is a gift? Now, what is going on as an empath, okay? All that is occurring in its most simplest form, all that is occurring is that you are receiving telepathic communication from the external stimulus, meaning the other person or the crowd. You are receiving information telepathically, and because of that, your sixth sense is using your five senses as a medium in which to convey information. So whether it be the emotions get stirred up, you start to feel this, this sensation in your gut, like this anxiousness. Maybe you start to feel the heaviness on your shoulders, and you start to feel yourself shrink. All that's really occurring at its most fundamental level is that you're receiving telepathic information that is being sent from the frequency the other person is emitting. That's all that's happening. It is only your emotional response to the information that is coming in that is causing you to be to feel triggered, or to feel this desire to help them or solve their problem. And by the way, helping them and solving their problem are two different things. It is only that trigger of the emotion, and sometimes we misinterpret it as our own emotion, and then we get triggered by it. We really, as empaths, one of these strongest tools in our arsenal or in our belt would be practicing emotional neutrality. So having this external stimulus as you being the observer to it, and then having zero emotional attachment or expectation as to what it means, why it's there, what is it making you feeling, why is it making you feeling it that way, making you feel that way. Emotional neutrality really is a superpower for energy healers, for psychics, for empaths, in the ability to channel. In order to channel, we must be emotionally neutral. So now I want to talk to you about why you must use this gift as sorry, I was about to say emotional neutrality, of empathy, very intelligently, and I want to tell you why. So I just kind of explained a little bit about being intelligent with it, understanding that it's just your responsibility to be able to hold the space for somebody to come to their own truth, or for somebody to receive a bit of healing, or even the ability to plant a seed in somebody's mind. And it's our ability. We use this gift. We should be using this gift for healing, for spiritual insight and wisdom, for alchemy, right? So here's why you must use it intelligently. So as empaths, I totally understand. I am an energy healer myself. I am a spiritual mentor myself. So I am here solving people's problems all the time, every day. But out of all of the clients that I've worked with, this is what I know, okay? It is not our responsibility as empaths to solve people's problems, because in trying to solve their problem, you actually take away their lesson. That's why angels or even ETs cannot intervene. The law of no and non-intervention, right? You can hold the space for them to figure out their truth, and I'll talk about how to do that intelligently, or why intelligently, in just a second. Because again, how? Emotional neutrality, being the observer, detaching from the outcome, detaching from your responsibility that you have to solve their problem and that you're the only one that can solve their problem. But ultimately, you take away their lesson when you try to solve their problem. You take away their soul's growth. And actually, I know this might sound counterintuitive and some might not resonate with this, but I know this for a fact. When we have this, what's the word I'm looking for? When we have this inkling or this obligation to solve somebody's problem, or give them that insight maybe they're not ready to hear, or give them unsolicited, unwarranted advice, that's actually our ego, okay? Because you're making it personal. And actually, even though it's in the frame or the lens of helping the other person, you're still making it about you. You want to make them feel better. The real question is, do they want to feel better? Some people do not desire to feel better. Some people just want to sit in their own self-loathing and their own misery. Okay? It's you that doesn't want their feelings hurt. It's you that wants to solve the problem. Maybe they don't want to solve the problem. Maybe they're not ready to solve the problem yet. Maybe there's a higher consciousness, higher multidimensional reason why they're going through what they're going through, and it's not your responsibility to figure that out for them. And maybe it's not your it's definitely not your responsibility, but maybe it's not the right time for them to come to that conclusion right now, because there's still a fermenting process of the lesson that needs to occur for them. Does that make sense? So don't rob them of that. So here's why it's so important for you to hold the frame, for you to hold the light, for you to hold the frequency. So I'm going to give this analogy, okay? So let's say that you are you're walking your dog, or you're going for a brisk walk, brief walk, and you see a little kid. Or maybe it's your own child. Usually it's when it's your own child, it's a little more personal. So let's go that way. If you are walking and you're watching your child ride their bike, okay, and they slip and they fall hard. I mean hard. They tread against the gravel, and the bike's flipping over them, and their helmet looks like it's about to fall off. If you go over there in a panic, and then you see that there's a huge gouging scrape on their knee and there's blood gushing, if you start panicking, what are you going to do to the child? The child's going to be even more in fear. The child's going to be even more afraid, and it's going to cause and stimulate more pain, right? As a parent, you know that when shit like that happens, it's your responsibility to remain cool, remain calm, right? So instead of you going over there and approaching them like, oh my God, are you okay? What happened? Oh my gosh, you're bleeding. And then it's like they're panicking too, you're panicking too. It does not help anybody. But if you approach the child or your child and you can see that it's pretty bad, but you're like, it's okay, I know that hurt. You were so brave. Let's get you cleaned up and get you your favorite snack. Then, no matter how severe the child's pain is, they have a sense of comfort because there is a hero there or a beacon of hope there to provide them a safe space so that they can heal and get the help that they need. And it's less psychologically damaging and traumatic. Does that make sense? So let me just draw a visual really quick. Okay, so let's do this. Do. Okay. So I'm a very visual person, so you'll see I draw lots of pictures. So as you can see right here in my notes for today, so here's you. Here's you. You are the one with the little halo, living your empathic life, and you're kicking ass, right? And then there's this person that you come across at the bar or at the restaurant or at work. It's your coworker, it's your spouse, it's whoever, fill in the blank. These are the frequencies that you're emitting. These are the frequencies that they are emitting, okay? Now, when you decide to go down, when they are struggling and they're depressed and you go down to their level, you're at their frequency, which helps nobody. Then you're feeding a closed loop of sadness, grief, and depression, and you're actually not helping them at all. You're feeding their pity party. You're feeding their depression. But when you hold the frame and you say, meet me halfway, they have the choice to meet you up here, which then raises their frequency, their vibration, and you get to make an impact on their life the way that you actually intend to do it. Okay? So this is just like a visual to let you know that they need to come rise up to you, even if it's at your lowest frequency. Your lowest is still not even at their highest. But them raising up here is how you get them, is how they get their healing. That is how they heal. That is how you use your empathic abilities and your frequency to help heal the other person, because energy transfer is real. So, if you have any questions, you know how to reach me. I do have a spiritual mentorship and coaching offering for only $7.77 a month. You get one live workshop, you get a live Q&A, and you get a live energy healing. So if you find that you are struggling with being an empath, if you find that you do leave parties feeling the density around you and feeling everybody's energy, or you go to big crowds and you have a lot of anxiousness, or you want to harness your energetic gifts, your psychic gifts, then let's work together. For $7.77 a month, you can have my specific help. Okay? All right, guys, so much love and appreciation for you. I like this video if it helped you. Comment something that was really profound, that allowed a light bulb moment to occur for you. And I will catch you guys on the next one. So much love, so much appreciation. Go out there and keep spreading the world with your light. What you are doing matters, even if it doesn't feel like it. Everything that you are overcoming and healing and transmuting and alchemizing on a daily basis really matters. This is a micro shift, micro alignment game. So keep going. I know it's tough, but keep going. Okay? All right, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye.